one more turn. Episode 203, Say Now.
Have you read the latest dispatch from the board of directors?
Ours at Acme Smith or yours at your law firm? If ours, I'll deal with it. If yours, that's on you.
Is that so, Bay?
Only Riley can call me that. Could call me that. You know I don't like it.
I do. That's why I used it.
Is that what you're doing now? Using me?
The only thing more annoying than your tendency to share too much when you're feeling superior, Bay, is how you get defensive when things don't go your way. With me.
Setting aside the geographical fact that Superior is a lake, not a bay.
Because it's irrelevant, and borderline smug, you feeling the need to point it out.
The only reason your law firm has any leverage over you, and not the other way around, is because Gary gave them his recordings of you in your office.
You did not come out smelling like a rose on the hours of recording you're on either.
But it wasn't my office that was bugged. How could you believe your administrative assistant when he told you he didn't find any? I mean, didn't you think that just asking him to see if there was a bug, well, encouraged one to actually be placed there?
What's that supposed to mean?
You know perfectly well what I mean.
Yet you know damn well that he was my father's assistant, not mine.
That he was your father's assistant and not yours, Belle, should have been the first and only clue you needed that he was loyal to him.
Yet he also told my father that his office wasn't bugged when he knew that it was.
Fine, Miss Technicality. More loyal to him then. You lawyers and your nitpicks.
You know that wilted potted plant in the lobby of my former law firm's office?
I guess. The lobby is awash with so many different shades of green, I suppose I never noticed it had turned any other color.
It got that way because I removed most of its dirt for equipment to record audio. Except for parts of the dirt I didn't remove, it picked up almost nothing.
You were happy about that?
Did my father's assistant not disappear?
I'm not following.
Think, Hudson, think. An assistant who never answers the phone? Just cause on a platter.
Oh, it wasn't that funny, though. I'll bet the look on his face was when you fired him.
Yes, and yes. I'll miss being there, but the firm's board forced me to choose jobs, so I did. Anyway, it's late, and we've been at this for hours.
Speaking of hours and recorded audio...
Call it a cliche, but I've got this wicked headache.
How about I call you a cab, then?
Need some alone time? That was more awkward than I intended it to be.
We're out of aspirin here. I'll walk to the corner store and meet you back at your place. I know this driver who offers a smooth ride in an American classic. He knows the least torn-up roads in town to take better than anyone else I know. His name's Pedro.
You know me better than I know myself sometimes, Hudson. I'm glad you agreed to give our relationship another chance.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel the same way.
But your ability to lie is one of your traits that I find the most attractive. We'd have a better chance if we could get Acme Smith's board to agree to our suing Riley for bargaining in bad faith.
Is that really more important than getting your law firm's board to back down on threatening you? Even your father with pushing for disbarment? If they succeed, you'll have spent more years studying to become a lawyer than actually being a lawyer.
Nowhere in my employment contract with Acme Smith does it require that I be a lawyer. Why, if that were to happen, then I wouldn't have a lawyer-client level of confidentiality to uphold anymore, would I?
Your ability to manipulate is one of your traits that I find the most attractive.
What about my ability to humiliate?
Are you referring to that game you agreed to play against Carson you-know-who? Why would you set yourself up to have to, well, interact with him right before you sued him?
I said getting Acme Smith to sue Riley, not Carson. I know you hear me, but I wonder how much I say you actually listen to. Besides, turn-based strategy is much more than just a game, Bay. Hudson, it's...
Your ability to kill the mood is definitely not something I find attractive.
Okay. I know you're a non-gamer, but seeing as how you're dating one, again, try to pick up on this much. I agreed to pay against Carson if he joined a club and got standing in that club. We'll call the club a ladder, and we'll call the standing a ranking. He's not even a ladder member, let alone a ranked one.
All right. Let's assume you convince Acme Smith's board of directors to sue Riley for bargaining in bad faith, and only Riley. What's to prevent her lawyers from bringing up Carson, Caleb, One More Turn Solutions, to question why you would associate with them, regardless of how unrealistic the conditions for that association was? In fact, by merely discussing those conditions, were you not associating with them?
So, you have been listening to some things I've said. But what you still fail to grasp, Hudson, is if I can convince our bosses to sue Riley, it would be because I can present such a strong case against her that it would never go to court. Riley would settle first.
Your confidence in yourself is all but boundless, without question, but how can you be sure that Riley would recognize that you would win before you went to court?
Don't you mean our win?
If there's more than one room in this place, could you go there? I'll wait.
How can we be of service today, ma'am?
Well, you can't, but I can be of service to you.
That's a bold claim. How will you back it up?
I know who you two are. I know Acme Smith's board of directors is blocking you from releasing the restored audio version of the Carson You Know Who video, but I also have copies of all drafts of Little Something Something that became the Doe contract. I overheard you talking about convincing Acme Smith to sue Riley. Why not Caleb and Carson too?
One More Turn, written and created by Daniel Dan Q. Quick. Edited by Dark Cloud and ECAT2468. Directed and produced by Daniel Dan Q. Quick. Characters in order of appearance. Bella, voiced by Annalie Cartamandua. Barney. Hudson, voiced by Daniel Dan Q. Quick. Avery, voiced by Jennifer Lund. Sounds courtesy freesound.org. Music by Kevin MacLeod. Voiceovers by Jordan Lund. Visit the official One More Turn website at onemoreturn.net. Copyright Civilized Communication at civcom.net. On the next episode of One More Turn.
Even the likes of you must have realized from working with Riley so closely for so long that Hudson did all of the heavy thinking for both of them. If he can do that, then you can be assured he'll take care of something when he tells you he'll take care of it.
The likes of me? Would you care to elaborate?
If you have to ask,